Hello, what's up, everybody? Are we live? Let me make sure to see that we're live and we get started. Hope you guys are doing well. It happy Saturday. We're gonna get started. We've been doing some cool updates, guys, for our X-Copilot. Can't wait to share some with you guys. Make sure my audio works. Yo, test. Okay, we're good. All right, so we got the audio. Make sure here. I'm gonna order my food soon, as usual. I'm gonna. I feel like last stream I was a little bit too. I went off the. I was just blabbing too much. So we're gonna try to do less blabbing, more doing. This time, make sure I'm not leaking my ENVs before I start. Okay. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. This is day 16. Yep, day 16, guys. Day 16. We're cooking this up. Another day, another dollar. And yeah, so we're gonna cook it up. Let me see here real quick. Okay. And let's get started. Let's get started. Okay. All right, guys. Oh, I'm gonna order my food in just a little bit, but all right. So what are we gonna do? If you guys can hit that like button, that'll help a lot. Begin try to get some traction here. So all right, let me reduce the camera and let's get back to business. So this got my little dashboard here. I'll talk about all this stuff. We got some new agents here, specialists, tags, all this stuff. I'll mention this later. Let's just go back to our Copilot. I believe everything is closed. Wow, nice GitHub. Come on, GitHub. This feels like, you know why this happens? Here's why this happens. I feel like this happens because you have some redeployment. GitHub redeployed everything in the background, kind of, but the browser doesn't cache it. That happens to me sometimes. So anyway, so here we have. Wow, that is okay. We got this big review unit that we've been working on. It's kind of been a lot of different things that we were cooking. This is a big review unit just to add some SEO and all this legal, all the legal stuff, privacy policy, terms of service, cookie consent, all that stuff, all that fun stuff that the EU decided the rest of the world needs to follow their rules. So yeah. Um. So anyway, there's that. We did this kind of boring stuff. We're just gonna merge this soon. We got the Tempest review, and it looks like Cyclone already patched it. So we are actually going to go back here, refresh, and I'm just gonna land this unit. So this is the X-Copilot unit. As you guys can see, there's a couple of other PRs. So this is just like a real example of how we're working with some of our real PRs and stack of PRs. You see, this is for the Mergestorm. This was in response to a Fable audit. Fable 5 did an audit on our code. It identified a couple of gaps, so we decided to close it with a big PR stack. This handles around 9 or 10 different bugs. So this is like a PR stack. We got 3 in the review unit. A couple of more need to get through. So as you can see here, it's all clear. We can go ahead and continue. This will push this one into the review unit, and then this one will run the seam. Again, the way this works is this seam runs against the whole unit. So I don't want to get too much into the detail, but this one actually, Cyclone patching, I believe if we sync this up, it should say Cyclone is done patching. It might, oh, it looks like also we need some, we need to do a little bit a better parallel execution because it seems like this sync won't fire until this continue comes through, you see, which is kind of annoying. And yeah, this one still says Cyclone patching. I'm not sure if it's actually patching. I'm pretty sure it's done patching. Right. So this is another one of those things. I'm not sure if it's a bug. We have to fix this later. But it looks like we can actually merge this, guys. We gotta merge this into main. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of this and just look to see if there's some gap so we can close. Just so I don't forget. This is a little bit of a side quest. So this is a little bit of a weird issue here with Cyclone. Um, so I'm not gonna merge this yet because this is just SEO stuff. So let's just go back to the X-Copilot. Let me refresh this. I'll show you guys how everything works. So you just log in with the email, and so far we do not have we do not have actual. You can't sign up just yet because we need to figure out the billing, the usage. We're gonna add. I'm gonna add this today. The actual Stripe IDs for the prices for the subscription, so you can actually subscribe. It's gonna take you to Stripe. And here we do have we did updated the usage logs, how many credits each takes, post lookup. So we kind of give you credits, as you can see here. So this $100 a month gives you 20,000 credits. The way this works is, yeah, we are wrapping the X API, but with a custom harness, and as you can see, it's custom, pipeline. And so that's kind of like what you're paying for. You're literally paying for us paying to X API. We might make a small amount. I don't know what's the margins on this. We haven't looked into much, but it's pretty much break even at cost, and that's for now. We're just growing users. So if you want to run this yourself and pay for your own X API, you can do this. You can do that as well. You just gotta have to set everything up. If you just want to use us and just pay monthly sub, you can do that. So anyway, we're building this more. We have user journeys, especially something. If you look, I'll show you guys later with a brand new account. But for now, let me just actually go into the. Let me go into the product that I actually try to do. So this is from yesterday. Let's just go ahead and open this and try to interact a little bit with this one. Let's see how the quality is going. So this one. 50 to 80% of a software's system lifetime cost arrives after launch. At launch, a system integrator's delivery team rolls off the next engagement. This is talking about an AI native software development platform. So this is okay. This is I guess some product advertisement. This is why most enterprise AI pilots never become systems of record. If the team that made the trade-offs is gone by month 3, you did not buy software. You bought a handoff. Ownership. Yeah, I agree. Agreed. Not everything is good to build in-house. There is a clear benefit to using another product or service that fits what your team is looking for. You need to decide and scope out what business are you in exactly. Instead of reinventing the wheel many times, it's cheaper, faster, and better to use a third-party service so your team can continue to focus on what matters. So this is a little bit of I hope this kind of goes along with just a reply. It's just he's saying these guys created some AI native software development platform. I didn't even look. I don't care. This guy replied saying, if you, from what I'm from what I'm understanding, this guy just said that yeah, a lot of times if you try to build your own system, it ends up just wasting resources, and by the time if the team who made this is gone, you've just wasted all the time and all the effort. So I'm replying and saying, yeah, that's exactly right. It's not always good to build everything in-house. Sometimes it's good to just actually use another team or another product or service that already accomplishes what you need. You don't need to reinvent the wheel each time. Just have your team focus on what really matters, your own product. And if you have another service that already does what it needs, you don't need to move. So we interact with this. I'm going to go ahead and click Mark as interacted. Now, here's one thing I'm thinking of. If there's a way to do this without clicking Mark as interacted, because it's kind of a gap. It's kind of annoying to kind of go back to the web page. I'm all about creating a very smooth user flow. So we already kind of make you go off the app by clicking open on X. Yes, we could render an iframe inside of here and keep you on the website, but that's not the point. The point is to make sure this is aligning with XTOS. And so this, right now we've aligned ourselves. I can do another audit about this, but regardless, let's see if we can try to get rid of this mark interacted button. Let me just go ahead and go to cursor, because that's one thing that feels like it's kind of annoying to do, and there must be a better way, right? So we're gonna try to get this done. Let me look here. Let's go to cursor, and this is from another project here. So I just have two um, tabs just for parallel execution. So we're just gonna use this tab to do some research. Okay, I want you to investigate this. I would like to retire the mark as interacted button because it just seems like friction when a user already has to go off the app to go to the X page. When they click open on X, then they hit the reply on X, and I feel like after that, we don't want to make them click another button. Instead, why don't we do something like polling? Can we not poll, maybe figure out some simple way, either polling or even webhooks? Does X API have support for webhooks? Are we able to just get a webhook when an account we're watching, for example, makes a reply? Because look, we have to track every user's replies anyway, right? So that means if we're tracking their reply anyway, we're gonna have to do that read and pay the cost for the read at some point anyway. So might as well just do it as early as possible or do it more autonomously rather than asking the user to click mark as interactive. What are my options here? Again, keep in mind the X API dev cost, which is quite expensive per read, and give me some options that I have to kind of make the user flow a bit smoother. So there's a nice thing. It's definitely a cool upgrade for the X-Copilot. So meanwhile, while it's doing this, I'm going to go back here and just kind of continue to try and use that product. So this was from yesterday, right? 12 hours ago, 14 hours ago. We don't really care. We're going to do the new one. So this kind of redesigned it a little bit. We got rid of some of the UI that's not really needed. And we just expanded on this chart a little bit more. We're probably going to expand it a little more and add some more stats. So right here, the streak should be updating slowly. So this a 2-day streak here, and it's like a takeoff. It's like flight path, right? You're kind of like flying, and then if you don't interact, you're gonna go right back down. And as you interact, you might go up and up and up slowly. So I just try to find a way to gamify this. We are going to add, once we get more tenants and users, we are going to actually add like rankings and leaderboards. And in addition, we can actually surface one of our own users. Here's the cool thing. If once we get more users, we can kind of keep this into almost like a self-closed loop almost in terms of, well, we're not able to give any monetary rewards, right, for interacting with certain users, but we can at the very least, again, I'm going to have to look into the TOS for this, but, when we're doing the threads, we can have a couple of like top 2 or 3 featured threads, let's say, that come from some of our own users, right? And this will allow you to engage better with users who are more likely to engage back. Something like this, again, no monetary reward there, but it's going to be a cool way to kind of help support our own system, and it's almost like a little bit of a flywheel. So anyway, when you're trying to do this, the way this works again, for a user, for a tenant, is you sign up to a plan, whichever it is, and you get some credits, right? You get usage here under usage and billing, you get a couple of credits. You also get a daily limit on how much you can do this takeoff. So 20 sorties left today. This is just like each sortie. So if I do takeoff, it's essentially going to do one run of this. So it'll show me 19. So it's a pretty big amount. So, you can do a lot of replies per day, 20, 30, 40, 50 replies per day if you really want in one sitting. But we're still working on this and still trying to optimize everything. But so far it looks decent. This one, it'll just start working. Again, we don't really show you too much status. I feel like we should at least show a one status line, just a single status line of like what it's doing. I think that's a good upgrade here, and there's a little bit of room left right here. So let's try to do this. Just we could do this in parallel. So I'm gonna just take a screenshot here, so it's easier to explain. I'm gonna go here to the other thread. Let me go back to cursor, and here I'm just gonna tell it, okay, I want to add a small one-line status that changes and updates with as we do the search when I click takeoff, because just showing a progress bar with no text feels weird. And look at the screenshot, we have room for a one line changing status bar. to help UX understand that it's actually doing something underneath. Please open an issue and open a simple PR to fix this front end gap. So a little bit of this. Okay, so here is it actually decided to do a canvas. I don't mind canvases. I do like them. It's almost a better way to it kind of explains to you what the report is. Sometimes you have like really long reports and I don't want to read them, and it's nice to get like a little bit of a visual aid. You have nice. I'll show you the canvas. It's just nice formatting and just makes everything a lot easier. Let me see here. I order the food. Okay. Okay, we're good. All right, so let's get back here. Try to do some of the heavy lifting. Okay, so my options, I mean, I don't really need the canvas, but what did it say? It said my options are cheapest first, silent, hot watch. Do this. Drop the button, reply on X starts the existing detect in the background. 1, 2, 3 searches with back off. Hit automark plus toast, miss, paste URL on the card, or wait for the hourly net. Same code, fewer searches, no new X product. I don't know if I like this part. Let me expand on this part. So it says do this, but I don't want to do. Like, drop the button and reply on X starts the existing detect in the background. But that okay. Here's the problem with this. Okay, the issue with this is that if a user clicks open on X and then actually does the reply a few hours later, this will really break our system. Can't you suggest a cleaner, better approach? I don't like number one. It just feels like, all right, if you click, it's like a background timer that starts when you click open on X, but you can take any amount of time to interact on X, right? It could be 1 hour. You can be interacting on it a day from now, and it needs to properly work. So second option is per user, discover faster when hot. Keep the hourly sweep, run it for every linked X username, and tick every 1 to 2 minutes. Now, we really need to grab that interaction fast. So, trying to think. XAA, post create webhook later. Instant with the tab closed. Worth it when many users, or you hate even 1 to 2 searches? Yeah. Budget is half a cent times their full daily post volume, not just desk replies. Needs webhook plus seriously. Yes, bro. This seems like the right up. This seems like the right. That's exactly what I wanted. Because a webhook means you just grab it. It just sends it to you. You don't need to poll. You can reply 1 hour later, a day later, or 10 days later. So let me look at this option. This option looks interesting. Yes, it means a bit more work, setting up DNS for the webhook, etc. But this is the correct solution. So, investigate this further. Do we have a simple way forward here? So just constantly listen to webhooks, and this will allow us to track every single user's reply as soon as they send it. Yes, we can add some basic rate limits like 250 replies per 24 hours or something, so we don't just burn money like this. But regardless, but overall, this feels like the correct approach. Yeah, so see this, even though it recommended like some kind of basic thing that doesn't really work, and this actual webhook is number 3. Number 4 is do not poll every user every minute and do not yet. So this will actually make it so that we don't have to poll users. So webhooks in this case I think are a good solution. So it's just going to go a little bit deeper. I wanted to investigate this specific solution for the webhook. XAA post create webhook later. Yeah, see, it's just the reason why it didn't suggest that is because I kind of asked it for a simple way forward, and this is not as simple. It's not the simplest solution, but again, the simplest solution is not always the best solution. Yes, sometimes, and especially, it's super nice if a simple solution is the best solution. Of course, like E equals MC squared, you know? Of course, it's a beautiful equation, just like E to the I pi plus 1 equals 0, stuff like this. A nice, simple equation that just, you know, just kind of encapsulates everything is always nice. But then you also have a lot of non-pretty equation, the quadratic formula, you know, negative a over b, whatever, the square root of negative b, whatever that is. I forget the quadratic. But that's not a pretty formula by any means, but yet it is perfectly valid and it's very useful. So not every solution is going to be the cleanest, you know, the lowest diff way forward. And I especially look at evolution. Evolution is not pretty. You have, you know, traits that you have. You have recessive traits, primary traits. You have certain like the humans have the tailbone, like some leftover code. You know, nothing. The correct solution is not necessarily the cleanest solution. Plus, who's to say what's the correct solution is? You know, it's all a matter of perspective. Anyway, back on track. So what is it? Let's go. So it did open the issue for the very small front end polish. I'm not too concerned about that. Let's go back to the real issue here. So yes, it agreed that it's the correct model, and the path is simple. You don't need a new DNS. So we already have the API. It's already public. Okay, and then we're just gonna hook it up to the API. Blah 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 blah. The post body is the tweet. Blah 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 blah. Do not use post. Blah, 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 details into this. Title later. Subscribe only while they have pending watch thread. I see. So we need to. It looks into the subscription. So it kind of subscribes to stuff. Let me see here. The setup. Add a public route. Okay. Get is the CRC HMAC. Okay. Whatever. Some token stuff. X hits this on register and every hour. If CRC fails, the webhook goes invalid and the event stops. Keeping PM2 up to the ops requirement. Right. Of course. It's just basic webhooks. You need to have it on. One time post to webhooks with a bear. Per user post with event at post create. Their numeric X ID. So yeah, we'll just get and that webhook ID app only bearer works. Post create is a public event. No OAuth 2 upgrade. Sign in with X already stores provided user ID. Okay, so what is the issue here? Cap. X cannot subscribe to replies only. Every public tweet they sent is a post create at 5 cents. At half a cent, including originals. You ignore in code. Captivity. Yeah, this is fine then. Okay, open an issue and open a PR or an MTPR stack to add this webhook delivery feature. Now, I wanted to mention here, it's talking about X cannot subscribe to reply. Yeah, so in regards to this, we should also upgrade our system to properly keep track of every delivered webhook from our user. So that means whether they make an original post or a reply, we should treat it the same. We should still snapshot it for stats, /likes, /RTs, /bookmarks, etc. So we also want to add a proper analytics layer. Similar to how we track interacted, we should reuse the same pipeline. And let me see, for the analytics layer, we just want to add like, for now we can just add an analytics route button in the user menu and take them to a beautiful analytics page. It should rank their posts. It should let's see, show their posts, create nice charts, graphs. What is it? What's the pie charts, etc. Make it a visual candy page for analytics, so users can see their top performing posts, etc. So scope out this issue properly and open the PR stack to fix this, and also add the webhook with some sane rate limits per user. And again, this cost of reading analytics should be priced into our available credits that we give users for our current dollar price per month. So if the available credits or daily scout limit needs to be adjusted to handle this, please do so. And for the daily replies, yes, the daily rate limit should increase as the subscription. Oh my god, subscription uh, tier increases. Okay, this is kind of a big messy one, but two things we're doing. We're adding webhooks finally, so we are going to be able to beautifully retire the mark as interacted button, and I'm always down. If I get to retire an additional button, that's a win for me. So the less buttons, the less weirdness, the less user activity we need, the better it is. Obviously, the one kind of like non-negotiable is the user will have to open the X thread and interact there. But besides, after that, we shouldn't have to make him do anything else. So let's go back to our main thread, main button here, main product, and let's just go and start interacting with some threads. Okay, let's try this one. We're still on the old build, but it's okay. Let's see how the thread quality is going. Maybe we can do one small PR to improve something about the thread quality. Okay, so we have here another thread. This is why copper shortages are inevitable. Who cares about copper? I don't know anything about copper. The discovery drought and falling grades get all the airtime. The chart tells a quieter story. Okay, so if you are not interested, you can click not interested. This is talking about copper. Nothing to do with AI. Yeah, this is kind of a weird one. Why did this one? It has nothing to do with AI, right? Right, so this is an issue. I'm gonna have to investigate this. I don't really want. We're just gonna skip this for now. Let's just move on because our agents are busy right now, and this is really small thing. So here's another one. AI coding agents make guessing faster, not shipping. Generated files do not prove a working product. They say nothing about demand, distribution, or operations. Solo founder rule: define the user and distribution test before adding features. Easy to get lost in the sauce trying to add random features to satisfy outlier customers who are looking for some. Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a bunch of nonsense, but I just said that. Yeah, just it's pretty much like adding random features. It's not adding random features. It's really easy to get lost in the sauce adding random features. So anyway, Mark has interacted. It's gonna do this and check, and it should get it. There it is. Now it'll be a lot faster after this webhook update because it's just gonna get it in the background. So if anything, when you click open on X, maybe we can just change the color of this so that when you come back to this, you'll notice that this is going to be maybe grayed out or something, or we can figure this out later. But for now, this will help us remove this mark interacted button, which I think is a good idea. Let's go next. What is this? Went to my first ever IMAX 70mm viewing. This scale is like nothing else, but I feel Dolby Cinema off. This has nothing to do with AI, bro. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Why? What is that agenda? Find builders sharing opinions and trade off. Yeah. We're getting these kind of threads. I'm not sure why, but it's nothing to do with AI. We need to fix this. Please investigate this. Let me switch tabs here. We're going to go back to cursor. Why do we keep seeing random threads that have nothing to do with AI? Something like this. See, and another thread was about copper. I marked it as not interested, but I'm not sure it has any effect on this. Help me understand the gap. Our agenda clearly says AI builders slash tools. So why is it surfacing non-AI topics? Something like this. Okay. This is one of those things that, 2 months down the line, there's still going to be random posts that might get through. So it might be an infrastructure issue. So if we keep seeing these kind of issues, instead of hunting them down one by one, we might have to redo our whole Scout infrastructure. It's not really a problem. It's probably 1 or 2 PR stacks to close this up. We'll figure this out. We're now, the reason why I can do like double agents here is because this one is working on the code, but this one is just investigating. So, as long as only one agent is actually doing code changes at a time, like if I ask this agent to do some code changes while this one is working, it's going to completely mess everything up. But if you're going to be using double agents, I recommend, if you really want to like push a product hard and not have to wait for one agent to finish before you start something else, then make sure you're just doing it to where only one agent is changing code at a time. That's it. Once this one opens a PR, you can start having this one work on code. Because it doesn't matter what branch this one was on. The branch is on the PR. It doesn't matter what happens to the code locally. It's already on remote. So in this case, it's going to switch the workspace. If I do ask it to work on something, it's going to switch the workspace, switch the branch, and just push it like this. So that's that, guys. I think my food is here, actually. Let me see. So it was a little bit of a shorter stream. Yeah. A little bit of a shorter stream, I think. But we did do quite a bit of updates here. And as you can see, we're still pushing. And I'm going to close this. Just before I go, I just want to do a quick update for Mergestorm. So as you can see here, we have done some really cool updates. Specifically, we updated our... So I might need to like... Our load times are a little slow. I'm not sure. It's we have overload. Regardless. So as you can see, we have these tags here. What are these tags? These are specialists. We have specialists agents now. So if you're using Mergestorm to create PRs, you see this. We have a Vortex. That is our main agent, and it's gonna spawn specialists. Now, why is this one different than this one? Why for this PR we have an API specialist and a test specialist, and this one we have a tests and an architecture? Well, this is because of our router. So if you go to our agents, we have a smart router. So here's how it works. You just connect Vortex, and you can use it for free. You guys can use this for free as well. You get, I think, 50 or 100 reviews. You can check it out. No credit card required. So Tempest is our systemic review. Forget about this one. Cyclone is the one that does the patches. If you just want performance and if you just want the reviews, look at Vortex. So here's how it works. You get 1 credit, means 1 review. So Vortex Core will use 1 credit each time. Vortex Core is just the basic agent. It does the full review, goes through the code patches and everything. Now, if you want extra specialists to actually give you hunt down the bugs, and they're going to be objectively better than CodeRabbit and GrabTile, any other agents, what you do is you include the smart router. You can turn it off or on. If you have it off, this means that it will always use these agents. So you can select these agents, and it's always going to use these, all 6. And you don't really need to. If you have a small PR, why would you waste money and time on these? So what you do is you turn on the smart router. There's 2 settings, standard and max. Here's the max. It will select up to 5 extra. Standard, only up to 3 extra. And this will only do it on the initial review. So, and this is why the smart router, it's how it's able to essentially decide for this PR which specialist agents it wants to invoke. Now, if you actually look at the PR, this is our own private stuff. Let's say on the Copilot, maybe. I'm not sure if this one. If you look here on the Copilot PR, and you look at the beginning, you'll notice the specialist fleet that it got selected. It selected the security and it selected the tests one. And this is what they found. In addition, of course, core always runs. So these findings are going to be the combination. So see, there's 4 findings here between the 2 specialists. Well, core also found 2. So you get 6 total findings. And these guys are running in parallel, so you're not paying for any extra latency. It's very simple. So this is a huge upgrade, and I recommend if you guys want to check out Mergestorm to do your reviews. This is the real production here. No, this is a real private repo with Mergestorm. Here we have a 5 PR stack. Now, these 3 are in this integration unit. So right now it did the seam, it did okay. I can promote this. What's going to happen is this PR is going to move into the unit, and we're going to run the seam on this PR. So see the promotion, it got here, there's a conflict, that's okay. So you can actually have Cyclone fix your conflicts. The conflicts is just part of the way our infrastructure works. It's normal to have conflicts for these PRs, so you can either copy this to your cursor agent, just one line copy paste, or you can try this with Cyclone. I don't know if we've updated this, it should work. I can try it live now. So here it is, you can ask it to fix this merge conflict. It's going to ask you, do you really want to do this? You say yes. It's going to dispatch this, and it should work, but I think we still need to do a production update before it actually does the patch. So you should just copy this for agents, resolve the conflict, merge this, and after that you can run Tempest. So here's an example of the Copilot PR. This is the one that's already done. We got the 2 PRs that are already inside the integration unit. Here's how it looks. You got the tagged issues as well. And what we do is we fire off Tempest. Tempest is meant for these big diffs. This 900 lines, it's not really that big, but a lot of times your integration units are going to be huge diffs because they're the combination of a bunch of lower PRs. So in my case, this 5 layer PR is going to be a huge diff in an integration unit. All right, so once you have the integration unit already, you fire off Mergestorm Tempest. It's going to do a review. The reason why it failed here is because Tempest identified some systemic bug. Okay, identified some issue, and then we're going to have Cyclone automatically patch it. Either with 1 patch, or in this case, it did 2 patches. So once it's done with this patching, you can go back here, and we're simply landing this unit. We're going to land the unit, and it's just going to merge this stack into main. As you can see here, if you check, it's been merged straight into main. That's it. So this is how the integration units work. This is the new flow for PR stacks. If you want to ship faster and better, instead of opening 1 PR with 10,000 files, you can just open a couple of PR stacks, review them one by one, seam them together, and then at the end do a fat review on that integration unit with Tempest. So I'm leaving you guys with this. And for our X-Copilot, again, you can check this out if you want to. It's open source. The GitHub link is in the description. We're turning this into a real SaaS product that you can link with Stripe. You can charge people monthly, and you can make a little bit of money. Essentially, this is a wrapper for X API. Everything is open source. You can do this whole. You can host this yourself. We've just now deployed this to a domain. So this is about it, guys. So I'm going to end the stream. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all so much for stopping by. And keep it cooking and keep shipping, guys. I'll see you in the next one.